everyone, and welcome back to another Hot Wheels video review and showcase. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Hot Wheels review video.
Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Hello everybody.
Hello everyone.
Hello everybody. Hello everyone. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Hello. 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 Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Hot Wheels Collector video. And this is the 1000 subscriber special. You guys got me to 1000 subscribers, and honestly, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for all of the support. It means an absolute ton. I can honestly say I was never expecting to get this far. I never expected to get noticed at all, but you guys showing your appreciation and support to me means an absolute ton. It was totally unexpected, and I really do appreciate and love you guys. You mean a lot to me, and thank you so much for the support up until this point. We hit 1000 subscribers not too long ago. I haven't had much time to make these videos recently because we've had things like the Mopar 5-pack coming out. I had the reaction video to do to the G-Case. It's been really busy, and I really do apologise for how long this has taken, but I finally do have some time to make this video, so let's get it done and let's get it out because you guys do deserve this video. This channel would not be possible at all without you guys, and honestly I cannot thank you enough. But this will be a 3-part series, so first of all we'll take a look at my mainline collection. I thought it'd be nice to showcase my collection as part of the 1000 subscriber special, so yeah, that is what I'm going to be doing for 1000 subscribers. Part 2 will be taking a look at my treasure hunts and also some error cars which I've managed to find, and then finally we'll be taking a look at my premium collection, where that does contain some really nice models, and that will be the final part to the 3-part 1000 subscriber special series. But without further ado, I suppose we'll get straight into the mainline collection showcase. Thank you for all of your support up until this point. So I suppose I'll get straight into this collection tour then. So first of all, here is my Acura collection. Then we have my Alfa Romeos. I do collect my Hot Wheels in a brand order, so it starts from A and then it works its way all the way to the end of the alphabet. These are fantastic though, these GTV 6.3 litre. It took me ages to find this casting. It took me absolute months because I was looking for this red version, and I couldn't find it anywhere because it was really popular here in the UK, but managed to find it in a Poundland for £1.50, very good price on that one. Thrilled to have it in my collection. This white version was nowhere near as popular for some reason, but I think it still looks very good. Then we have the Aston Martin collection. Some really cool castings. A lot of people don't like this Valhalla casting, but I think it's quite good. I don't really see what's so bad about it. I think the scale might be slightly off, but other than that, I think it looks pretty cool. Nice release in that silver. Next up we have Audi. Some really cool castings here. Most of these are pretty new. They're from the past like 3 or 4 years, and the reason is I started collecting in the summer of 2022, so I don't have any cars that are older than 2021s. So yeah, here is the rest of Audi. Love the Audi 90 Quattro. That's a really good casting, one of my favourites. Then we have Automobili. Bentley. I don't have many Bentleys. This is the only Bentley casting I have. I'd like to get some more castings though, but they just haven't released many Bentleys recently. BMW, again, not many castings from BMW recently either. It would be nice to see things like the new M4 and the new M3, but they are not castings in the Hot Wheels lineup yet. Let me know if you would agree, if you want to see some newer BMW castings. The 507's fantastic, real good classic BMW. Then we have Bugatti. The Boulide is fantastic, look at that. Again, one of my favourite castings from last year, and again, one of my favourite castings in my collection, full stop. And then we have the EB110. That silver colour pops on that car. I did have the yellow version previously, but I actually got rid of it because I didn't like that colour at all. We're on to Cadillac now, by the way. But yeah, got rid of the yellow version of this casting. because I just didn't like it, and now I've got the silver one and I'm really happy with that. And then finally we move on to Chevrolet, and that is it for this side of this organizer, so I suppose we'll get straight onto the next side where the Chevys will continue. We are now on to the next side of this organizer, and I hear a lot of people talking about there are not enough American cars coming out from Hot Wheels. But if I'm honest, I disagree, because my Chevy collection is the biggest manufacturer I have. I have so many different castings and recolors of the Chevys, which have been released in the past 3 or 4 years, and there's just tons of them. I've got over 24 Chevys, well over 24 actually, and it's just huge compared to any other manufacturer. Like, we've already seen Bentley, I have like one of them, just not many castings coming from that. We do get a lot of JDM stuff, but I definitely do think we get a lot of American cars as well. We've just recently had a Mopar 5-pack come out as well. I will be showing that off in this video, but I have made a detailed showcase on that very recently. It hasn't even hit many stores at all yet, and I was thrilled to find that. But yeah, originally I started collecting just one version of each casting, so one single colour of them, but recently that has kind of gone in the bin, or the trash can if you're American, and yeah, I'm just collecting what I like. So anything that catches my eye goes straight into my collection, and that is why I have been adding a lot more cars recently to my collection than I ever have in the past. But yeah, some really fantastic recolors which I just could not resist, and that has led to me just picking up anything that I really do like the look of. And yeah, I do aim to have at least one of each modern casting in my collection. At some point, I'm definitely making solid progress towards that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying collecting Hot Wheels. It's such a fun hobby, especially when you love cars in real life like I do. Just really cool. But yeah, that is it for this side, or this organizer in general. Now let's move on to my second organizer, where the rest of the Chevy collection continues. Here is the next organizer. The rest of the Chevy collection is in here. It's kind of the older Chevy cars now, because they are ordered in manufacturer but also in age order. So as you will notice, we started off with the newer Chevys, and now we are on to the older stuff. I've always loved mainlines. They've always been my favourite. They still are. I still prefer the mainlines over premiums, even though I do collect premiums now. I just think the mainlines are fantastic value for money, and the castings they use here are just superb. But yeah, really good mainline. And if you don't collect mainlines, I'd highly recommend you do, because honestly they never get old. Here is Zinger. There's only one casting here for this brand. Quite an obscure brand there, but yep, cool car, brand new for this year, that casting. Then we have Chrysler, again just one casting in my collection from that brand. Then we have Datsun. These are very sought after by collectors because they are Japanese. I love this 510. This purple colour just pops on that. Fantastic release. Then we have the DeLorean, the DMC DeLorean here, followed up by Dodge. Now, I will quickly mention that I do store these Hot Wheels cars in Creative Options organizers. I'm not sponsored at all by them, so yeah, I don't make any money from telling you this, but I just thought it will help you out if you are looking for a new method of storing your cars. You can get them on Amazon globally, and you can also get them in a lot of American stores, whereas here in the UK you do have to order them online. They can be quite expensive and overpriced on Amazon, but really, I know here in the UK that's really the only option to getting these organisers, unfortunately. But they are worth the money in my opinion. They're very durable and they keep your cars very safe and secure, and they don't damage them. Oh, and we're not quite finished yet, because we do have the Mopar 5-pack here for 2024. It will be hitting your local stores soon. And all of the cars within this 5-pack are Dodges. There are no other brands here. So yeah, all of them are Dodges, and honestly, all of them are fantastic to look at. Some really cool recolors here. But anyways, that's really it for this side of the organizer. Let's move on to the next side, where Dodge continues. And Dodge continues here, but as I've said, I collect my mainlines in order of manufacturer. But recently I've kind of been debating collecting them in year of release from Hot Wheels rather than in manufacturer. Let me know if that is something that sounds better. I'm still uncertain on what I'm going to do at the moment, but yeah, it is a thought that crosses my mind. Next up we do have Ford, and yeah, Ford is a very big collection as well. Further, supporting my opinion that they do make quite a lot of American cars. They just kind of get overlooked, I suppose, a lot of the time, and they are more of a peg warmer because the JDM stuff does sell a lot quicker. But yeah, as I've said, I do think they make plenty of American cars, as you can quite clearly tell by brands like Ford and Dodge and Chevy. But yeah, this collection continues. I just want to talk to you a little bit about what annoys me the most with Hot Wheels. What are those things that I have a massive gripe about? So the first thing is when a casting does not have any wing mirrors or windshield wipers, like this one. You see it's got no wing mirrors. That just makes it look a little bit less realistic to me, and it's a real shame because I think wing mirrors could be easily added and it would definitely enhance the design of the casting a lot more in my opinion. But yeah, that's a big gripe. And another thing which I really dislike is when the name of the car is not on the base of the car. So it's just completely bland on the base. It's got no information. So you have to dig out the card art to find out what the car is actually called. So that can be a big pain. Another thing which really annoys me is when the card art does not state the year the car was produced in real life. Because the way I organise my collection, I do need that year because, as I've said, I organise from the newest cars from that manufacturer to the oldest, so not knowing the year is really annoying for me in the way I collect. But yeah, that's it for this side of the organiser. Let's move on to the next side. On to the next organiser, the Ford collection continues, but really that's it for my gripes. There's not an awful lot of things that really do annoy me about Hot Wheels because I do think that the modern Hot Wheels stuff have a lot of details and there's really not an awful lot to get annoyed at. A lot of the castings are very accurate, and overall I love collecting Hot Wheels. It's such a great hobby. I've always loved collecting stuff, but Hot Wheels is fantastic because it allows you to collect multiple different cars for super cheap instead of having to buy the full size real thing. Here is Fiat and here is GMC, but yeah, really love the price on these main lines because it allows you to be able to purchase so many of them on such a budget, which is great. Love to be able to have so many different castings. Here is Honda, and here is a 2021 Honda, which I really do love personally. Now then, this does have quite a story, so sit back and relax. I'm going to get nice and steady so it's not too shaky. I do apologise for the camera work if it is a bit shaky because it is all freehand, but managed to find these 2021 cars in a local B&M store. They just had a random restock of 2021 cars. I know I have told this story quite a few times in the past, but there's plenty of new people to the channel, so I'll tell it again because I love telling the stories I do have. Anyways, managed to find this car in that B&M restock of 2021 cars in 2022. I cannot describe how thrilled I was because I love this casting. It was the main car I wanted to find and managed to get it. I love the blue on this thing, and as I've said, the casting is phenomenal. But yeah, for some reason I did leave a couple cars, and one car which stands out to me that I left was a black 22B. And ever since then, I've never been able to find another version of that casting, not the treasure hunt or anything, because they haven't released it many times since, other than that treasure hunt for 2022's N-Case, I believe. So yeah, still looking for that casting. It's a really nice casting as well, and that black version was very nice, but for some reason I left it, and I do regret that to this day. But that's a fantastic model in my collection. It has quite a lot of significance, and honestly I'm really pleased I do have it. And then this gold version is from this year. I prefer this blue version if I'm honest, but yeah, that's just my opinion. Honda continues, but yeah, collecting has been absolutely thrilling. But yeah, here is the rest of Honda. Lots of desirable castings here because again, it's JDM, and anything JDM from Hot Wheels sells rapidly. The scalpers get all over them no matter what the casting is. And here is another one of my all-time favourite cars in my collection. I did manage to find this car in 2022 when they were restocking 2021 cases in B&M stores. I'm really thrilled to have this in my collection. I really love this recolor of this casting, and this casting in general is superb. And yeah, it is a very fun thing collecting, as I've said. It's all about beating other collectors to things because there is only so much to go around. As much as people tell you mainlines are very common, yes, they are quite common when they are produced in the factory, but when people are taking multiple of the same exact car for themselves, they become much harder to find. Here is Hummer, and here is Jaguar. But let's continue onto the next side of this carrier case. Next up, here is Jeep. And this is the next side of this organizer. Now, I personally just collect what I like. I've never sold a single Hot Wheel. I'm not in it to make money. I simply am here to collect and enjoy the hobby. I know quite a few people who do sell these, but yeah, I'm not one of them. I literally do just buy these for myself to have in my personal collection. Here is Koenigsegg. I only have the Jumeirah in my collection. I could have had more Koenigsegg castings, unfortunately. But a couple years back, probably about a year back to be honest, yeah, I saw the Jesko casting in a local pound stretcher store near me, but for some reason I left it. Don't know why, and I still regret that as well, because I don't have that casting in my collection still to this day. So yeah, it would have been nice. I'm pretty sure it was in silver. And that was a 2021 car, but yeah, never seen it since, and we'll probably never see it again. Next up, we have a Lamborghini. Nice little collection here. I would like to get some more Lamborghini castings though, because there are some really nice ones out there. Unfortunately, I don't have any versions of the Aventador, but that would be a really nice one to have. Here is Lancia, fantastic car there. One of my all-time favourites in my collection. Love that thing. I think it looks fantastic. Here is Land Rover and Range Rover. Really nice stuff. This is a really nice casting, to be honest, and it's definitely been growing on me. When I first unboxed it, I wasn't super keen on it, but I really am starting to like this thing. I think it's really awesome. Next up, we have the Lincoln Continental. Really cool casting. Love the lowrider look of that. Here is the Lotus Emira. This is one of my absolute favourite in real life cars that are being produced to this day. I think it's so stylish. I think it's just awesome looking. Look at that. Really awesome Lotus there. I definitely think that this thing looks way nicer than any Porsches that are being made right now. And honestly, I think it's nicer than quite a lot of Ferraris as well. Stunning, stunning car. Then we have the Avaja, or the Avaya, I think you pronounce it that way. And here is the rest of Lotus. Then we have a Lucid, just one car from that. This is really the only colour of this car that has interested me. It's kind of like a gold, very interesting there. And then we have the beginning of Mazda. So let's move on to the next case. On to the next side, here is the rest of Mazda. And here is the premium mainline Fast and Furious Mazda. Now I really do like the premium mainline stuff. I think they're great value for money, and I definitely want to add some more of them to my collection because they receive extra tamper work like a premium, but they do have the basic plastic wheels. They're just a lot more detailed. And then I do have this Gap. Now on the live stream I didn't know what this was for, but I've been looking and it's for this Mazda Autozam, but it just does not fit at all. It's too tall, and that is one of my absolute pet hates with some Hot Wheels castings. They don't fit in these organizers, which I collect Hot Wheels in and store them in. And that is a real shame because most of them do, but just a couple don't, and then that does mean I have to store them somewhere else, and then I kind of forget about them. So that is why I leave a gap, so I never forget I've got that casting in my collection somewhere. Here is the rest of Mazda, but yeah, real shame, especially when they're such a cool casting, but you can't display them with the rest of the Hot Wheels that you have. Here is McLaren. Decent sized collection if I'm honest, definitely growing quite a decent bit. Some really nice castings in here. Here's the P1. I've got one which I want to talk about a little bit. Oh, and this was the first ever car which I bought for my collection. It's definitely not a bad first car for your collection. Pretty cool one, to be honest. This one, though, they have released it in premium, but I think the mainline is better. It's got better tampo work detailing, and overall you don't get much more for your money with the premium one, which came out in Jay Leno sets. They are very similar looking, and overall definitely purchase this one. Much cheaper, and I think it's nicer to look at. Here is Mercedes. Now, I've just realised I've got something I want to talk about. First of all, I will mention this is one of my absolute favourite castings. Super stunning. I know Lamley from Lamley Group loves this casting, and I honestly agree. Super great looking one. But I will mention that this is one of my first cars in my collection. I believe it was like the third car I ever bought. So yes, that does have a lot of meaning to me, and I thought I'd go back to that one. Here is Mercury. I've got a couple castings from that brand. Some nice ones there. Here's Mitsubishi. This is a brand which I really want to, get more castings from. Things like the Eclipse and some Evos, but they just haven't been releasing many Mitsubishi castings in the mainline recently, unfortunately. Otherwise, I definitely have them in my collection. And here is the beginning of Nissan. Some really nice and sought after castings here. This is another really fantastic casting which I love, one of my absolute favourites again. I think it's so good. It's actually coming to Boulevard in a very similar look, except in white. It does have a little bit more tampo work detailing, but again, for a mainline, I'd go for the mainline version, to be honest, because this mainline has so many details. It's fantastic. It just looks spectacular. And here is the final Nissan for this side. So here is the rest of Nissan. Now, I've been collecting since summer of 2022, as I've said, but I did have Hot Wheels before then when I was younger, but I didn't collect them. I just had them because I loved cars. I've always loved cars. But yeah, didn't collect them, just had them because I think a lot of kids do have Hot Wheels. But yeah, then I just didn't have any in my life for a long time. And then I saw a YouTube video with some Hot Wheels on it, and I realised quickly that they actually make licensed cars. I used to think they were just fantasy castings, like a lot of people do, but nope, loads of licensed stuff, and that is just what got me into my collecting. And ever since then, I've just continued to collect, and now I have so many mainlines and so many premiums and just so many cars in general. It's hard to keep track of everything I do have, but I don't regret collecting these at all. They are so fun to collect. So many unique castings which you don't get from any other brands. You get modified stuff from Hot Wheels with custom kind of body kits on them, like the Custom 68 Camaro we've seen quite early on in the video. And you get some really cool brands as well. Here's Pagani. That there is one of my favourites as well. I think that thing looks absolutely stunning. One of my all-time favourites again. Just so well executed from Hot Wheels. Here's Plymouth. This is really a casting which isn't my favourite, but yeah, I know of people who do like that one. This one I like a lot more though. I love the colour on that one. Rest of Plymouth. Then we go down to Pontiac. This was one of my first cars as well. I believe this was the 5th car I ever bought from a Smith's, and yeah, really cool one. Originally, I was only buying cars with a lot of tampo work on them. That was kind of my collection, what I was only going to collect, but there's just too many cool castings to keep that way, and it just kind of spiraled from there, and that reel didn't last very long at all. Here's the rest of Pontiac, and yeah, here's a nice classic GTO. And then we go on to Porsche. This is a really nice casting as well. Not one of my favourites, but it's up there for sure. Definitely up there. Then we have the Taycan. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of the wheels on this thing. They kind of look a little bit funky on this thing since they are technically muscle wheels for muscle cars. Here is the rest of Porsche on this side. Some really, really good castings. And for mainlines, as I've said, the value for money is absolutely fantastic. Even here in the UK, where we do pay a lot more than America. The average price for these, or the cheapest price I should really say, for these here in the UK is £1.50. I know in America it's about $1, so yeah, a lot cheaper in America, but still, I think the value for money is definitely here in the UK. But anyways, on to the next case. And here is the next organizer, continuing with Porsche. This is the final organizer which I do have. So yeah, it is the end of the alphabet. contains all the manufacturers at the end of the alphabet, and this is a really nice casting. But it does show that the colour really does matter, because I think this yellow one is pretty poor compared to this white version. So yeah, it does show that sometimes it's not the casting, sometimes it's just the colour. I know a lot of people agree with me as well. Those mismatch bumpers on this thing look a little bit funky. Yeah, more Porsche here. We're at the end of Porsche now. As you can see, it's the older Porsches. And then we move on to Proton. Really cool, unique casting. This is what I love about Hot Wheels, because this is paying homage to Malaysia, where Hot Wheels are made, because this is one of Malaysia's, if not Malaysia's, most popular car. And this is why I love Hot Wheels. The variation of castings is so good. As I've said, not many other brands can bring such a great variation to the table. You just get all sorts. You get off-road cars, you get more basic cars, which you see on everyday roads. You get your supercars and muscle cars, and yeah, here's Ram, by the way, and here is Renault. Just the one casting for Renault. I'd love to get some more Renault castings, but Hot Wheels don't make many Renault castings, unfortunately. That is one thing which I'd love to see, more European castings. That would be really appreciated. Here's Rimac. And here's Shelby, more American muscle. As you can see, there's plenty of American muscle, to be honest. That's my opinion anyway. Here's Subaru, and unfortunately no 22B there. Would have been nice, but it is what it is. I do regret that, as I've said. Here's Tesla. Again, more ordinary cars here. Nice to see them, even though I don't really love EVs. I'm not really an EV guy, but I will appreciate that. I think Teslas don't look too bad, especially for an EV. Some EVs look horrible. Horrible. One EV that comes to my mind of looking horrible is the new Audi 4x4 type thing. The e-tron. That thing looks horrible in my opinion. I hate the front grille on it. Here's Toyota. That's a really cool casting. That one is growing on me still. Really love this casting. Really love this recolor. Definitely one you should add to your collection, because I love that one. That red pops on it. More Supras, very, very popular casting. I like this casting a lot. It would have been nice to have seen a plastic spoiler, especially since they use this casting a lot of the time for Fast and Furious. As you can see in the background, this is from the Fast and Furious 5 pack. So yeah, I do think it would be nice to have a plastic spoiler so they can have a different colour spoiler to the rest of the body of the car, because when they do Fast and Furious releases like this, you can see the spoiler is orange, whereas the Fast and Furious car in real life, or in the movie I should really say, is silver. So it's not really accurate, and it does look a little bit bulky and a bit, clumsy, I think, that spoiler, and it makes the casting look very aged and old for some reason, which is a real shame. And the final Toyota in this case, or this side of this case, is the AE86. But let's move on to the final sides of this case and the final lot of Hot Wheels mainlines in my collection. And we continue with the tail end of Toyota. Some really cool castings here. That Supra is really good. Love the slammed look to that. Looks very low to the ground. There's the Celica. I would like to mention that I'd love to see a 7th gen Celica or Celica casting come out, because I have one in real life and I think they are fantastic cars. But Hot Wheels used to have a Celica, a 7th gen Celica casting, but they just don't use it anymore, and I'd love to see it return or get retooled, because yeah, I love them. Here is the ID Buzz, really cool one because it's more of an everyday car. Nice variation there. Here's the Beetle, again, more of an everyday car. Nice variation. Even though I don't really love this generation of Beetle, it's still nice to see and nice to have in my collection. Here's another premium mainline. I think you get great value for money. That one is fantastic. It's my favourite car from the Fast and Furious franchise. So happy to have that in my collection. More Volkswagens. Some really cool castings, as you can see here. Here's the T2 pickup. More Volkswagens there. Käfer Racer, technically like a fantasy casting, but also licensed because it does have Volkswagen, but it's not a real life car. And here is the Volvo XC40 Rechargers. More of an everyday car once again, but it does have a nice off-road kit to it. A lot of people hate this casting, but I'm I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. It's not the best, but it is still a cool one. Love this estate. I think it's just been done so well by Ryu Suda. Looks really good. And here is the 240 Drift Wagon. And finally the P1800 Gasser to finish off the mainline collection. And there you go, that is it for my mainline collection. That's really all I have to show you for part 1. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Thank you for all the support you have been showing me over the past year that I have been producing videos. I don't intend to stop anytime soon. Some more videos are to come. Some fantastic stuff is on the way, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's really it for part 1. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like. If you are new, make sure to subscribe. Remember, you can also press that notification bell so you do not miss new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends, family, or any groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressure to if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. But anyways, that is it for this video, so I hope you guys did enjoy, and I really do hope to see you guys in the next one. See you in part 2. Bye bye everyone.